For nearly 2 centuries, Iranian women have fought for freedom and gender equality. From Tahereh removing her veil in defiance of the religious and social order, to Mahsa Amini's death, sparking a national and global movement. Tahereh Qurratul Ain was among the first and only woman disciple of Bab, the leader of a new faith who sought to reform Islam. As a leading proponent of the Babi's faith, she became a pioneering feminist by advocating for gender equality and unveiled in public in defiance of Islamic social norms.
گر به تو افتدم نظر چهره به چهره رو به رو شرح دهم غم تو را نکته به نکته مو به مو.
Early 20th century was marked by women's activism through forming associations, secret societies, founding school for girls, and publishing journals and demanding literacy and equality for women and girls. During the Constitutional Revolution, women organized many protests and campaigns. They smuggled weapons and supplies, and some women, like Bibi Maryam Bakhtiari, took part directly in fighting. She became known as Commander Bibi Maryam Bakhtiari. Qamarul Muluk Vaziri was a celebrated Iranian singer who was the first woman of her time to sing in public without wearing a veil. During Pahlavi era from 1925 to 1979, Iranian women advocated for women's education by founding schools for girls and expanding literacy. They also launched several magazines, journals, and periodicals. Shoukat Rusta emerged from Iran's early leftist movement. She was a member of Tudeh Party and also an active member of the Jam'iyat Saadat Nesvan. She was among the first female political prisoners in Iran under Reza Shah Pahlavi. Jamileh Sediqi was also an early leftist Iranian political activist and a member of Tudeh party. She, alongside Shokat Rusta, are considered among the first generation of female political prisoners in modern Iranian history during the reign of Reza Shah Pahlavi. Razieh Ebrahimzadeh, also a leftist activist, was imprisoned in 1946, making her the first female political prisoner during Mohammad Reza Shah's rule. Pahlavi era witnessed emergence of many women activists and intellectuals seeking civil rights and the emancipation of women. On February 1964, Senator Tahereh proposed a legislation that would provide full equality for women in marriage, divorce, custody of children, and other social and civil matters. This significant bill later became the basis for the Progressive Family Protection Act. Mehrangiz Dolatshahi was a social activist and politician. She was the first female ambassador of Iran to Denmark during Mohammad Reza Shah Pahlavi era. Forough Farrokhzad was a groundbreaking Iranian poet who wrote openly about female desire and love, and she rejected the passive, idealized image of women, and instead presented women as thinking, desiring, and morally complex individuals. By centering female experiences, Farrokhzad transformed modern Persian poetry by carving out a radical space for women's voices. Farrokhru Parsa was the former Minister of Education and a fierce advocate of women's rights. On May 8, 1980, she was executed by the Islamic Republic. In her last letter from prison to her children, she wrote, "I'm not going to bow to those who expect me to express regret for 50 years of my efforts for equality between men and women. I'm not prepared to wear chador and step back in history." Homa Darabi was a political activist, a child psychiatrist, and a university professor. She was fired from her position for her non-compliance with mandatory hijab. In protest, she immolated herself on February 21, 1994, which led to her death. After the establishment of the Islamic Republic and following Khomeini's decree ordering women to wear hijab, thousands of women demonstrated against the proposed mandatory hijab, a movement that was not supported by men or the political opposition groups. After the 1979 revolution, many women activists emerged as leaders and trailblazers. Coalition building among Iranian women with different political views catalyzed many collective actions and campaigns. Noteworthy were the 1 million signature campaign aimed at changing the discriminatory laws, No Stoning campaign aimed to stop the barbaric act of stoning women to death, and White Wednesday campaign to encourage civil disobedience against mandatory hijab. Shahla Lahiji was a prominent publisher and women's rights activist in the late 1990s, known for her pioneering work in feminist literature. Shahla Sherkat was a journalist, publisher, feminist, and a women's rights activist. She was the founder and publisher of Zanan magazine, the first independent women's magazine post-1979 revolution. In 2017, Vida Movahed, a solo activist, removed her headscarf publicly, and her action sparked a national movement against mandatory hijab. In September 2022, a 22-year-old Kurdish woman, Mahsa Amini, was murdered by Iran's morality police after being arrested for allegedly violating compulsory hijab laws. Her death became a catalyst for long-simmering anger over states' control of women's bodies, systematic gender discrimination, and political repression. What began as protests against compulsory into a nationwide and global movement. Women and girls took the lead by publicly removing or burning their headscarves, cutting their hair, and reclaiming public space, while men, students, workers, ethnic minorities, and artists joined in solidarity. The slogan "Woman, Life, Freedom" evolved from a chant into a unifying political and cultural identity. The movement's global visibility pushed international media, political leaders, and public officials to echo and amplify the message of women, life, freedom in solidarity with the movement. The Iranian authorities responded with lethal force, mass arrests, shootings, torture, rape, and executions. Many were shot in the head, chest, eyes, or vital organs. The violence and repression by the state continues even after the Women, Life, Freedom street protests became less visible. Many activists, students, journalists, artists, lawyers, and ordinary citizens are detained for social media posts or symbolic acts of defiance and civil disobedience. And the threat of executions continue to loom over political prisoners. Despite sustained violence, surveillance, and punishment, women have continued acts of civil disobedience. Women walk unveiled in public spaces, streets, cafes, and universities, despite the risks. These everyday forms of resistance have become one of the most enduring legacies of women life freedom. Civil disobedience by women is no longer episodic. It is reshaping public space, social norms, and political imagination. Woman, life, freedom has become embedded in everyday culture, and through ongoing acts of resistance, the movement continues.